We're almost there, man. The Stormy Daniels hush money misdemeanor case is almost over. And the closer this case gets to the jury, the more frightened the left is becoming. And you can see it, man. You see just how spooked they are when you turn on MSNBC or CNN. It's almost like they're coming out of the fog in real time and they realize that this little get Trump fantasy that they've been living in is what's going to get Donald Trump elected. And apparently, so here's what's going on. The judge, he's got his jury instructions figured out, but neither side is going to hear them until, of course, after they give their summation. And the point of that is they don't really know what crimes the jury will be considering, so they can't tailor their closings to those crimes. Interesting stuff, but it's going to affect the prosecution more than anybody because they don't know what crimes to describe, right? Liberals see this coming, and they're starting to freak out.
I'll let each of you, and I'll do ladies first, tell me what you expect to see happen in these summations, and can you just try to, anticipate for us what you think those jury instructions might look like?
Yeah, so two really important questions, Joy. You know, it's a little bit frustrating being a lawyer in a trial because in opening statement, all you can do is predict to the jury what you think the evidence will be. You can't make any arguments about what it means. You can't do that when you're asking witnesses questions. But closing argument, that's the time you get to let loose and share with the jury your views of what the evidence means when you stack it all up together. You know, it doesn't always come in sequential order. Sometimes we have these witnesses that we have to use to authenticate evidence or custodians of records. This is the opportunity to explain to the jury, here's how all of the evidence adds up to guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And these are extraordinarily good prosecutors. They've done a fine job. It's a tough case.
I hate to stop it, man, but just consider what she just said. She says these prosecutors, the same prosecutors that took almost a decade to bring charges based on a misdemeanor, that they elevated to felonies based on another very, very clever reimagination of another misdemeanor, unethically stack felonies by turning every invoice, every ledger entry, every check into its own individual crime. And then they took a 74-year-old first-time offender all the way to trial without offering a plea agreement. And then in that trial, they haven't actually pinpointed or alleged any real crimes. She says that these are extraordinarily good prosecutors who've done a good job with a tough case. It's just insane. The only thing tough about this case is that there is no case. There is no actual articulable offense. I mean, that's the tough thing. I mean, this is who these people are, man. They are insane. I mean, somewhere along the Get Trump adventure, no one is above the law people have somehow transitioned to the everything Trump does is against the law people. And they don't even recognize that they've done that, man.
I think we'll hear them arm the jurors with good arguments that they can take into the room so that while they're deliberating, if there are some among the jury who are less persuaded, they will have the evidence in the order that they need it to have that conversation with their fellow jurors. And the jury instructions play a big role in that because they are the law that the jurors are to apply. You know, there is this kerfuffle about whether or not Trump could put on an expert witness about election law. And the judge said, no, that's my job. I get to tell the jury what the law is. That's what he'll do when he instructs them. The order, and I don't know if Andrew has this same reaction. It makes me just a little bit uncomfortable. I'm used to having those instructions written in stone before I can argue, so I can tell the jury, here's what the judge will tell you about the law. And my understanding is that that may happen a little bit differently here, but ultimately the judge is the authority who tells the jurors what law to use.
Just a little bit uncomfortable, she says, as she wonders what the judge will even tell the jury that they can consider. I mean, these people are so turned around and blinded by, Get Trump, that they still, after weeks of testimony, they don't even have a clue what law they believe that he broke. I mean, come on. Honestly, I think that's why the judge took a week off. I think he and his team of political activists have been working about as hard as you could work, trying to figure out some new magical legal thinking that can end up in a conviction. But I mean, anyone reasonable sees through this. And I cannot imagine that at least one juror does not see through this. I'm a little biased, of course, but after reading every bit of testimony, I cannot possibly imagine how this ends in a conviction. But that's just my take, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.